In this video, we will adjust the shading of the replacement texture to make the image more believable. Open postoffice4.psd. Target the siding layer and apply a hue saturation adjustment layer by clicking this icon. Decrease the lightness by dragging the slider to the left. That makes it much better already. However, if you look at the original image by clicking and dragging down this column until you get down here, you'll see that the background layer reveals the original shading conditions. This surface is darker than that one. Let's turn these back on. I need to selectively shade this surface. Let's create a new layer above the adjustment layer in the vanishing point group and rename it Shadow. Go to the Filter menu and choose Vanishing Point. Zoom in on this left grid. Choose the Brush tool and change the brush color by clicking the swatch. Select a very dark brown or almost black color and click OK. This will be our shadow. Set hardness to 100%, and you can change the diameter here interactively, and you can also change that with the bracket keys on the keyboard, just as you can with the brush tool in Photoshop. Notice that the brush respects perspective. That's the great advantage of painting in Vanishing Point. I'll position the brush right up here in the corner, start dragging to the left, hold down the Shift key and drag all the way. The motion of the brush is constrained by the geometry of this plane, of this grid here in Vanishing Point. That makes it a bit easier to paint within the lines, if you will. I'm going to drag downward, hold down Shift after that, and go all the way down to the bottom. And do the same over here. And again, up. And then I can just paint inside here manually. I want to cover this whole surface in a shadow. Over here, I need to decrease the brush size quite a lot and probably zoom in there to get a better view. Use the brush tool again and go ahead and paint in here. As best as you can. Double click on the zoom tool to zoom out, and then you can come down here and paint again. So I'm going to click and drag, hold down Shift, constrain the motion. Again, click and drag, then hold down Shift. I'll zoom out and paint a little more down here. We have this last corner to deal with. I'll zoom in there and paint that. That's close enough. I'll click OK. And we have a shadow. Decrease the opacity of this layer to tone that down. You'll get a better result if you also change the blend mode to multiply. You can then adjust the shadow to your liking. I'll also use the Move tool and use the up arrow on the keyboard to get rid of this little line. Just move the shadow up a pixel or two. So we can compare before and after. So in this video, you made the replacement texture much more believable by shading using a hue saturation adjustment and by painting in Vanishing Point.